Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Smackdown, or at least in a couple of minutes before it gets started. If this is your first time here, my name is Steven, and this is Marked by Wrestling. Our motto here is being a mark isn't a bad thing, because being a mark just means you believe, and believing makes wrestling better. We've got a full show tonight, a full 3 hours of Smackdown. The King and Queen of the Ring tournaments are progressing. We've got Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn tonight, and Asuka, who just returned on Monday, taking on Alexa Bliss, who just returned within the past 6 months. So that's going to be a tough match to call. We've also got John Cena, our undisputed champion, taking on Ron Killings as well. And we have been teased a confrontation between U.S. champion Jacob Fatu, Yaramin, and Solo Sikoa. Solo has much like any rom-com has gone out and called for a public declaration of love from Solo Sikoa, from Jacob Fatu, excuse me, and we'll see if Jacob manages to acquiesce to Solo's request. I am skeptical that that's what will happen. I have a feeling Jacob is going to show Solo where he can fit in. So we are coming down now, down to the countdown, and SmackDown is about to get started. Glad you're here with us tonight. Have lots of fun, and hopefully we can chat a little bit of King of the Ring history as well in between commercial breaks or whatever you guys want to talk about. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, and the constellations of superstars of past, present, and future should be on the way in just a moment. SmackDown again, we're about a week and a day away from Saudi Arabia, away from Night of Champions, where John Cena will be defending against CM Punk, where we'll have our finals for King and Queen of the Ring. So, and also AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. So, here we go. Time to start the show. Then, now, forever together. Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks again for joining, and we are looking forward to a great evening of wrestling together tonight. Let's see what the show holds. See if I can even hear my own television. All right. Here we are. It's time for SmackDown. Grand Rapids, Michigan, which I do remember seeing. Tyrell Bree, good to see you, sir. Black Panther Gaming. How is the gaming game going, Tyrell? How are you this evening? I do remember seeing ahead of time some of Cena's gear reflecting the Detroit Lions for this town. So I'd be curious to see him rocking that tonight. But Randy Orton, the Viper's in the house. Big pop for Randy. Big pop for Randy already. Dossie, hey, man. Good to see you. What's up? Glad you're here. And Sammy is here as well. Initial pops just from the beginning of the show sound like Randy's a little more popular, but we'll see what happens. Big pop for Alexa Bliss. Trying to share a cake pop, I guess, with Lily, who doesn't want any. Let's see what Asuka's got. Okay, I think Alexa and Asuka are a little evenly matched in their crowd reception, at least from the entrances to the building today. We'll see where it comes from. Although I want to point out there's Solo and JC Mateo. My goodness gracious. Coming into the arena for tonight. I got to say Asuka and then Ron Killings, one of the loudest pops going today. So, yeah, that's gonna be a loud match. I have a feeling between. They've labeled him as R-Truth on the graphic, so I guess we're just gonna go back and forth. And LA Knight is here, yeah, loud pop. But he's walking through the tunnel. I guess he might be leading off the show. He's walking through Gorilla Crowd is getting louder already because they know LA Knight's coming to the ring. So we're going to start off the show this way. I was going to say, in terms of music, LA Knight's theme music might be the best Def Rebel we've gotten, among the best at least. A lot of stinkers from Def Rebel, but LA Knights isn't one of them. Give credit where credit is due. And also, speaking of theme music, Loud, from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Asuka had her CFO's theme on Monday. Not her, which is interesting. Is she's kind of hybrid Asuka. She's got that heel face paint, but she's got her original theme instead. So she's got both at the same time. You have lots of steams, Tyrell. Okay. Play through Web of Shadows on PSP and let's return to. Okay, so you use a Steam Deck. How can you tell me how does a Steam Deck like experience comparable to a console? I've never played a Steam Deck before, but a lot of my friends who were serious gamers, they swear by Steam, obviously. So I'm curious how that works out for you. How do you feel about that the playability on that medium? All right, LA Knight getting us started tonight. Yeah. Obviously going to have something to say about either Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, or Seth Rollins. Let me talk to you. Yeah. Let's just go ahead and rewind our mind a little bit. We go back to Money in the Bank. Second and small, just happened to come down and screw this guy. LA Knight reliving Money in the Bank. Usually, me, I usually let things slide. But I just figured I couldn't let that slide. I had to come back and make sure I got a little payback and screw one of his boys out of King of the Ring. What's up, Justin? Good to see you. LA Knight just recounting his beef with Seth Rollins' faction here. There's only one way this can go. Raw, Smackdown, round and round it goes. Where it is, nobody knows. LA Knight challenging Seth Rollins tonight. We've already got a stacked card as it is. I have a feeling we might not get it, but still, Paul Heyman. The crowd is very happy to hear his voice. Paul Heyman's so funny. You hear his voice, everyone pops, and then when he finally comes out, everyone starts booing. WWE fans these days are people love to sing along, you know. You don't move that you screwed up your cue, we'll do it all over again. Paul Heyman is very good. Teflon Don, our mod father. Hey, welcome to the chat. So good to see you this evening. Man, Heyman's so good at getting the crowd to respond appropriately. All right, now LA Knight cuts him off. Just get to the point. Why are you here? I'm very intrigued by this, promo because both of these guys are very good on the mic. They're chanting OTC. I don't know next time we're going to see Roman, y'all. This seems like a very easy to please crowd tonight, which could make for a really incredible show. Now they're chanting CM Punk at Paul Heyman. You're absolutely right, Allison. People love to hate Heyman so much. He's just so giving in that way too. He plays right into it. I kind of hate for LA Knight that they're all chanting for all the other good guys except for LA Knight, who's right in front of them. Heyman with possibly the worst yeah I've ever heard. Heyman brings a message. It's time for you to get the hell out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Justin, do I think CM Punk will cost Cena tonight? That's a good question. Paul Heyman threatening LA Knight on behalf of Seth Rollins to leave town, or else something bad, very mafia-like, something bad's going to happen. Now LA Knight's getting the chance. Thank goodness, because he is the man who's actually here and in the ring, Grand Rapids. I could see CM Punk costing Cena, though. Could advance that feud. I gotta just wrap my head around this for just a second because I've heard you say that's great. You know why I've heard you say that before? Because you're a liar, you're a swindler, you're a grifter, you're a scammer, you're a schemer. You leech on to every piece of talent that's got a little bit of hype, a little bit of buzz. You leech on, you suck them dry, and you move on to the next. Seth Rollins just happens to be the latest in this. And then where do you go next? I really don't care. The bottom line is, I asked you for Seth Rollins. You gave me Paul Heyman. And when you gave me Paul Heyman, you gave me Paul Heyman, who's out here talking pretty damn tough. So it's kind of got me thinking. I kind of got this great idea while you're talking about wise man, wisdom. There's a point in time where if you would have talked like that, a man like me would have looked at a thing like you and punched your wisdom teeth down your throat. But I'm not going to do that. Yeah. Here's what I'm going to do instead. Justin, why do you think Orton would cost Truth? You can't bring me Seth Rollins. I just have to think that must mean the only thing we can do right here in Grand Rapids is LA Knight and Paul Heyman right here, right now. LA Knight saying, well, if you can't get me Seth Rollins, how about LA Knight versus Paul Heyman? Do you want LA Knight and Paul Heyman right now? Huh? Loud, yeah. Huh? Huh? So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn my back right now. I'm going to take my stuff off. Big man, I'm going to let
You get the first shot and make it a good one. Because if you don't, I'll mollywop your ass all the way back out and bring it back.
Oh, so you're going to mollywop him. So LA Knight is giving him a free shot. He's turning his back to Heyman, which there's swagger to that. But boy, you're just leaving yourself wide open for anything else.
Remember when I told you that wasn't a prediction. That was a sport.
Okay. Well, here comes, looks like Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed.
Looks like Heyman's warning is material.
Coming out slowly to, well, fulfill Heyman's prophecy of the evening. So we'll see what happens. Justin, that's solid logic. The truth did cost Randy Orton the title, and maybe it could come back on him. I don't love Braun Breaker wearing a suit all the time, though. It's got to be restrictive. Well, LA Knight making a valiant effort trying to take on both of them at the same time, but that dang numbers game, it's just a tale as old as time. But where is the cavalcade of baby faces from Raw? Where's Penta? Where's Sami Zayn? Where's CM Punk? Where's Cody? Where's Jey Uso? They're all just hanging out, drinking Wheatley's, I guess. LA Knight seems to have an announce table in his future. Oh, LA Knight's fighting back with a chair. Cracks it over both of their backs. And back in the ring, swinging that chair around like a madman. Bronson and Braun Incorporated having a hard time here, being very frustrated. Hi, Sophie. Thanks for popping in. That's interesting. I don't know why my notification didn't go off. I'm sorry about that. I'd scheduled it and everything. Okay, well, kind of an awkward close to the opening segment, but LA Knight stands his ground and wards off Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. I'm surprised. I'm happy to see that as an LA Knight fan, but am surprised that he was able to fight them off by himself. Highly impressive and a good reinforcement from creative too on LA Knight. Now, Heyman said at the beginning of the night, you don't leave town, something bad's going to happen to you. Most of his spoilers end up coming true one way or another, so maybe this story thread is far from over tonight, but nevertheless, a good opener and, legitimizes LA Knight even further. He didn't need 3 or 4 guys coming to back him up, so at least not for this segment. So, and he does still have his sights set on Seth Rollins as well. So I wonder if we'll actually get that while Seth still is holding the briefcase. We'll see what happens. But, yeah. John Bernthal is in the next. Oh, Spider-Man. Sorry. I read that as Superman, Sophie, and I was so confused. So you mean to tell me that the Punisher is going to be in Spider-Man? I'm very excited about that, if possible. Well, I should say this. If the tone of the Spider-Man film lends itself to Punisher being in there, I'm excited. I don't particularly want remember when Daredevil showed up in No Way Home, even if it was for like 5 or 10 minutes? He was a little bit more of a lighthearted Daredevil, in that one. And I don't want to see that version of Punisher. If I would rather him just not be in it at all. If they're going to keep a more lighthearted tone to his presence in that movie if he shows up. But they have set themselves up to have a little bit they've set themselves up to have a little bit of a more somber tone for this one if Peter's really on his own this time. He, in terms of, his friends don't know who he is and all that kind of stuff. So I did read that from a couple of internet wrestling sources that Jey Uso was always kind of part of the plan to have a short reign and get the title back on Gunther. It doesn't surprise me. I thought I will still stand by this, even if I'm not particularly happy that Jay's not champion now, that they couldn't at least make that reign last to SummerSlam. It was just 2 more months. They could have done that, I am glad that they didn't just punk him out. I thought the way his reign ended was a good story, in that Jay's loyalty just got him, just got him in the end, because it tired him out. It got him injured, and he was still defending the title injured, and he never gave up either. He didn't tap out to Gunther. He made Gunther tap out, but Gunther couldn't make him tap out, which is a great thing for him to hold his hat on. So that's a positive. That leaves a door open, so they can do those things. So anyway, it's good stuff. Good stuff all around. But we're still on break here, and moving things along, waiting for Smackdown to come back. But so we'll see how it all shakes out. Okay, we got a recap now of the opening segment now, with Heyman's boys jumping on LA Knight, but getting their shots in. But LA Knight taking his cracks back at Reed and Breaker, the Braun boys, if you will. They're a little frustrated, understandably.
It's always the whole point behind it, gentlemen.
Oh my gosh. Why is Braun's first instinct to bark?
Again, I just want to let you all know that keep working all this, that tonight, Bronson Reed will go 1-on-1 with L.A. Knight.
Yeah. Okay. So LA Knight, Bronson Reed tonight. So we're having a good time. Having a good time. 1-on-1. Another match added to this card tonight.
It's not a virtue. It's a strategy.
All right. Well, they're presenting as though they have a plan. And here we go. Queen of the Ring. Next round. Here it comes. Alexa Bliss, big ovation for Alexa Bliss as the music hits. Take note, WWE, music that is recognizable from the very beginning is something that's going to only do good things for the show and for the performers and for the overall product. So Alexa back in, crowd is hot for Alexa. And she's taking on Asuka. So this is a tough call for me, because Asuka and Alexa Bliss, both brand new returns, more or less, to the main roster in singles competition. Asuka just came back this week on Monday, and Alexa, she did return to the Royal Rumble, but she was missing for a long time. And then just got back into the swing of things for the King of the Ring tournament. So they sort of are back at the same time. Now, I will say this, in terms of wrestling history, in 1993, I believe it was Tatanka and Lex Luger were in the first round of the King of the Ring tournament and had a time limit draw. It was either a time limit draw or a double DQ, but either way, neither one of them advanced. So that would be weird for this tournament because of the way they've got it set up. Because if that happened here and we didn't have a winner, then you would have Roxanne Perez and who is the other one? Now I gotta go look up the brackets now. But nevertheless, Justin, do I think Charlotte will get involved in this match? I mean, I don't think you're out of your depth in that one, because Charlotte and because Rhea got involved here against Rodriguez, and Asuka scored that win. Now that was a four-way match though. So Jade Cargill, it would be Roxy and Jade Cargill would be like a default final. I forgot about Jade. Sorry. It's going to be harder now because we have one-on-one matches now, so which means there are DQs, which means there are going to be countouts. I mean, those are in play. So we can't have just rampant run-ins all the time like we did for the past couple of weeks on the men and women's sides of the tournament. However, if you are going to have some screwy finish here, you could protect Alexa by having Charlotte get involved. And clearly there is a story there brewing with Alexa and Charlotte. And like I said, like we have established, Asuka just got back. So I feel like Asuka is going to find a way to advance in this match. And Justin, I think you have a strong feeling there that Charlotte could possibly get involved to cost Alexa the advancement. We'll see what happens there. But to be fair, if she does interfere, that could also cost Asuka because Asuka would get disqualified. Man, tight elbow by Alexa. And Asuka just ranting while she's running. We also have Sami Zayn and Randy Orton later on tonight as well for the semifinals of the King of the Ring. The winner of that match will take on the winner of Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso in Saudi Arabia. Okay, well, we will be back right now, picture in picture, but as Alexa's been knocked to the outside. All right. So when discussing, Evolution, again, Sunday, July 13th, we're going to have, so in that first ever King of the Ring, you had a 15-minute time limit draw between Lex Luger and Tatanka. And as a result of that, Bam Bam Bigelow went, had a bye in the second round and went straight to the final. Now, in 2019, I want to say, it was the year that Baron Corbin won King of the Ring. Let me see if I can find the actual year, excuse me. Let's see. Let's take a look. I'm going to try to find. So 2019, was the year Corbin won. And what happened in that year was Baron Corbin was in the semifinals, and one of the other semifinal matches was Samoa Joe and Ricochet, which also went to a draw, and instead both of them advanced, and the semifinals was a triple threat, which Baron Corbin beat Samoa Joe and Ricochet and went on to beat Chad Gable, a.k.a. Shorty G, in that final. So if we're in a situation where, neither one of them wins the match outright, there is precedent for neither of them moving forward or both of them moving forward. And I got to say, if Roxy managed to come out on top of Jade Cargill. Roxy, Asuka, and Alexa would be a lot of fun. And then Jade being in there with Alexa and Asuka would also be crazy too. But I have a feeling we will get one winner, and that one winner, obviously will go to the finals. And right now, I'm just going to lean Asuka because she is the newer return, and Alexa does have somewhere to go if she doesn't win this tournament, which is Charlotte Flair. Justin, with the question, let me throw you up on the screen here, Justin. Do you think Solo is bringing a new member tonight? Just a thought. You know what? I know last week, maybe it was even Monday, Hikuleo, one of the newest, Samoans, had a match on Main Event with one of the members of Pretty Deadly. So he has now wrestled a WWE match in front of a WWE crowd. So he could be on his way into the main roster at this point. He's not in NXT. He's main roster, main event, which is not obviously the most glamorous programming, but it's a place where dark matches would happen or people kind of hone their craft. So, it's not a bad idea that Solo brings in someone else to handle Jacob Fatu, and Hikuleo would be a visually impressive way to do that. However, we just brought in JC Mateo. Feels like they just brought him in. Like it was Backlash when he showed up, because it was after WrestleMania. And so to add two more members to his grouping while the Tongans are out. It could be a good return for Tama Tonga too, or Tongaloa, to have that group, gather its strength again. We'll see. But I absolutely don't think they're going to make amends. I'll tell you that. I 100% believe that Jacob Fatu is going to all gas, no brakes this group in some form or fashion. Anyway, Asuka just kind of toying with Alexa, but Alexa ducks a kick. Roll up. Okay. Oh, she's going for the DDT already? She's got Asuka. Oh, no. Reversal into a roll up. Okay. We're back at square one here. Oh. Nasty kick from Asuka. But that's only two. Thought we were a crowd. Crowd woke up for the threat of that Sister Abigail DDT by Alexa. I am interested to see who wins this match, just because both of these ladies, Asuka has been on the shelf for a while. And since Alexa came back, has been in a bit of a holding pattern. They've started to talk about show signs. Oh, she sidesteps a drop kick. Now Alexa back, plants her with a DDT. Is that it? Two. No, just two. It wasn't the Sister Abigail DDT, just a regular one. That extra posing adds more pain to the move, as we all know. Anyway, we got this is awesome chance from Grand Rapids. Thank you, Grand Rapids. I'm sure these ladies, well deserved for these ladies. She might be going up for Twisted Bliss. I haven't seen her do this in a minute. She's got it. Hands up. Here she goes. Uh-oh. She pauses and jumps down. She pointed down at Asuka. She saw Asuka do something and decided not to. I'm not sure what that was about. Oh, she suckered her in. She suckered in Alexa, and she's going to get that armbar. She's got that armbar right in the middle of the ring. Is Alexa going to tap? Oh, Alexa tries to escape, but she locks it back in. She's wrestling through it, though. She is fighting it. Now Asuka going over. She's now modified it into a Rings of Saturn. Great move by Asuka. Alexa, oh, man. Great fight by Alexa in that. Just constantly moving. Oh, nasty neck breaker by Asuka. Cocky pin, though. Whew, she almost opened herself up for that. Dawsey, I do not think Goldberg has learned how to pronounce Asuka's name yet. And I'll be happy for him to go on back to the muscle garage that he emerged from once his match is over with Gunther. I loved Goldberg for a time, but the business has passed him by. Not interested in his retirement match. Alexa stopped Asuka in her tracks, and now she's trying to put her up. Tree of Woe. Boom. Corner DDT. It's not DDT, dropkick, sorry. From the Tree of Woe. Now she's going to go up for Twisted Bliss. Now she's going to try to hit that move. And here we go. Oh, but knees up. And now Asuka signaling for a hip attack. Drops her right in the middle of the ring. Hooks the leg, too. Asuka advances clean over Alexa Bliss. As long as they do right by Alexa and get that feud with Charlotte or whatever it is they're doing with Charlotte up and running, all this is fine. I think Asuka is the better choice. She's going to be facing either Jade Cargill or Roxanne Perez in Saudi Arabia. And Asuka's running over and getting in Joe Tessitore's face. And Wade's like, yeah, exactly. Whatever Asuka said. But man, Jade versus Asuka or Roxy versus Asuka, that could be, I really want to see Roxy versus Asuka. I think they could have a lot of fun. Jade, B-Fab, and Michin looking on.
Actually, we need to talk to all this about the tag team titles. Yeah, you got this. Good luck.
Okay, B-Fab and Michin talking about the women's tag titles.
Just watched Asuka advance to the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament, but you also have your own semifinal match this Monday night against Roxanne Perez. So how do you feel about facing such a talented competitor like Perez? And also, how do you feel about the possibility of facing Asuka in the finals?
Rox, she has potential. She's quick, scrappy, but she's still trying to prove herself. And this isn't a proving ground. This is a throne room. And I was built for Raw TV. Now, Asuka, that's the storm on the horizon. But newsflash, I'm the storm. This entire tournament, it wasn't built for the future. It was built for a woman that can walk through the fire, shatter glass ceilings, and fix her crown when it waits for time. This Queen of the Ring, I'm not walking in just to win. I'm walking in to reign.
All right. Jade, not bad in the promo. Beginning, definitely just felt like she was reading script lines, but at the end, I'm not walking in to win. I'm walking in to reign. I mean, got to admire the confidence. A little weird, basically trying to paint Roxy as a rookie when she's kind of a bit of a rookie herself still. We're getting Aleister Black after the break, which is a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. Shaq, Tyrese Halliburton, both coming to 2K, as is Abyss and Great Khali, because we all asked for that, and Jalen Brunson. So get all the basketball players out of the way. You're going to call him Gilbert. Yeah. Well, listen. Goldberg was once one of the most dominant forces in professional wrestling. He was strong, he was young, and he was reckless. And that made for entertaining television. He's no longer young, he's old. In wrestling terms, I'd say he's no longer strong, but he's still reckless. And so I am just not interested in a broken down Goldberg getting in the ring when he was known for like big bursts of energy, big bursts of strength, big bursts of power. And he just doesn't have it like he used to. And that's not a criticism of Goldberg. That's just the progression of time. And the progression of time on a performer like Goldberg, it would be like if the Ultimate Warrior was still with us. I wouldn't want to see the Ultimate Warrior in the ring again if he was still with us either to do a match, because they were known for performing a certain way, same as like the Road Warriors or Vader or any of those guys. God bless them all. They were known for performing a certain style, and that style betrays you when age kicks in. And so I got to admit, I'm nervous about Saturday night's main event. I mean, if there was ever a guy, and I was actually, I'm taking this back immediately. I'm walking back a statement I was about to make, because I was about to say, if there's ever a guy I could trust to take care of himself in the ring with Goldberg, it'd be Gunther. But I would have believed that about Bret Hart even more. And that didn't happen either, because accidents happen in the ring. Undertaker as well, like all these guys have been victims of Goldberg's lack of care in the ring, combined with sort of a lack of self-awareness about how old and blown up he is, and I'm just talking about him as an in-ring wrestler, like as a man who's still living his life out in the world. I think he's in fine shape, he's healthy, whatever. But just seeing him walk to the ring on Monday, it wasn't as bad as like seeing, Mickey Rourke and the Wrestler or anything like that hobbling around in the grocery store or whatever. But yeah, I am concerned for Gunther. I'd be concerned for whoever Goldberg is facing. And it needs to be a short match, and they've already confirmed it's his retirement match. So I don't think he needs to win, because putting someone in a title match when they're going to retire, I'm not a fan of people winning a title then retiring, because that's just not what the business is built on. And I mean, the history of the bit, there's a lot of practices that happen in wrestling, both in front of the camera and behind it, that just because they've happened for a long time doesn't mean they're good things. But I do think a good thing that has been historical about wrestling is people who are leaving trying to make someone else look better on their way out. And so the match hasn't happened yet, and Goldberg has put over other guys. He put over Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre and a couple of others as well, I believe. But I think he put over Braun Strowman once. And so anyway, yeah, I just don't want that happening to Gunther. And I wouldn't want it happening to anyone. I wouldn't want it to happen to Andrade or anyone else. Oh, Chelsea Green and the Secret Hervis confronting Alexa Bliss backstage.
Been building my parliament by now if it weren't for you. Really, not an issue with it. Why try to bring it? Ladies.
Oh, there's Charlotte.
Anyone should have been in this tournament. It should have been me. But had your replacement tapped out 3 seconds sooner, I'd still be here. So here's the thing. I'm gonna have this match made tonight and tap you out tonight.
Ooh.
Not
about making a bank holiday.
That's cute.
So those of you who are with me, how red do I think Goldberg's chest is going to get? Probably as red as his face as soon as he walks into the ring. Kit Wilson from Pretty Deadly did not get an entrance, and he's facing Aleister Black. There's a long butt quote on the Tron. I can't. Dude, that's not even a long enough time for people in the arena to read that quote. What is that? Nevertheless, here's Aleister Black with his former entrance music from his NXT days, Root of All Evil. So, interesting thing. If you guys follow me along with me for NXT, tell me that segment right there that Alexa Bliss is not pretty much being main roster Tatum Paxley right now. She is a woman without a friend. She's not being as weird as Tatum Paxley is right now. But clearly Charlotte's like, I'm not trying to be your friend, whatever. And still getting kind of dunked on by Chelsea Green. Feels very Tatum Paxley to me. So yeah. Nevertheless, we're going to get Charlotte Flair and Chelsea Green tonight, which I think could be a really good. What's happening? Ron Killings is here. Ron Killings is attacking Kit Wilson from Pretty Deadly while Aleister Black's just standing in the aisleway. He's putting the putting the STF on Wilson. This reminds me when Randy Savage in the Nitro years tried to hijack Nitro. Oh, he wants to see a match now. You know, it's interesting. Truth is still kind of mentally not there as a character, but he's saying it with more ferocity than silliness. Poor Kit Wilson. And here comes Jamie Noble. Jamie Noble trying to talk down Truth. Come on, man. We'll go eat Vienna sausages in the trailer park, man. He's holding Truth by the head. I feel like he's getting a little too close. I'll tell you what, man. Aleister Black is not the dude I want to interrupt his segment. Are they even going to... He didn't even look at Aleister Black. Aleister Black's eyes never left Truth, but Truth didn't even acknowledge him. Okay. Killings has left the arena area. Tatum and Bliss as a tag team would be fun. Do I think Truth is going to fade to black? Yeah, man. I don't know. I feel like that match was probably, that interaction was probably just coincidental on Black's part. So Papa John sponsors this memory of Jey Uso's loss and thousands of crash outs among the WWE universe. Are we also going to get the Goldberg spot here too? Yep, they're gonna re-show the Goldberg return. Since I'm a target, I want to make it easy for you. I am right here. They had to show Goldberg moving in slow motion. I'm going to try to explain this as best I can about Goldberg's presence in the ring. There was a time when Goldberg would step into the ring and you felt like you were probably going to die. This Goldberg that I see him getting in Gunther's face, it feels like it's the 4th of July and I've bumped into him in an Atlanta 7-Eleven and he thinks I'm not patriotic enough. That kind of sort of delusional rage. Yeah, definitely feel like Goldberg's got a "Do Not Tread on Me" shirt underneath that Goldberg shirt. That's the vibe I'm getting from his anger at his age at this point. But yeah, Saturday night's main event. We've got a world title match. So it's a highly specific analogy, but you know what? Just the way he was in Gunther's face, it's just kind of like, dude, who asked you? Why are you so angry? Okay, Cody Rhodes coming up next. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. We'll hear from him. You know what, Justin? If Aleister Black got involved in this, I'm glad it's not my job to figure out where he fits. Or maybe somebody needed to deck him with a twisted T. I mean, it was very much an angry guy who just kind of puts himself in your path when you were minding your own business. It's the kind of energy he was giving me. Somebody I'd run into at a college football game or something who started drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I'm not, I'll say this. I'm not looking forward to the match, but if I live stream Saturday night's main event, I'm looking forward to reacting to that match. Because it's going to be like a bottle rocket, short and sweet and explosive and probably kind of messy, which is Goldberg. Short, quick to the point and pretty messy. Or it's just going to be a train wreck either way. I'm not optimistic for anything of high quality. And I've heard people talk about, well, what if Seth Rollins cashes in his briefcase on Goldberg after that? I mean, that's a possibility, but the possibility I want more than anything is Gunther to just beat him. So we can reestablish that 50-something-year-old wrestlers who have a hard time walking are not the preeminent champions anymore. You had your era, you had your time, and you were great, and we celebrated you, and we chanted, and we're still happy to see you come back and say hi, but we don't want you taking up one of the titles, even if you're going to retire right after, because all you do is just leave the impression that you're better than who is currently doing the work, and wrestling shouldn't be like that. Shouldn't be like that. Nevertheless, here we are with Saturday night's main event being headlined with Goldberg and Gunther. With counter program against AEW's All In as well, which I don't have spare $50 and spare 8 hours to fund AEW. So, what's next for Jimmy Uso, you think, Justin? Asked Justin. That's a good question. He had that sort of run-in with Angry Cena last week, but he really is just kind of floating around the ether right now. I feel like, and it's hard because he would be custom made for the mid-card right now, but with Jacob Fatu holding that title, there's just not a good chance for any of the mid-card contenders. So your guess is as good as mine. I kind of I know it might be sacrilege for some people, but I'd kind of like to see him try a tag team with somebody who's not Jey Uso and see if they could, get back into the tag team scene together. I think that would be fun. If Solo ever ended up turning face, we could do that. And this is Marked by Wrestling. My lovely wife asked this question: what long-standing champion had the best exit from their title, or maybe even from wrestling? That is a wonderful question. I would have said the best exit from wrestling would have been Shawn Michaels. He had a nice sort of story thread that led all the way to his retirement, but he did kind of undo it and came back for one match for that sweet, sweet Saudi Arabia money. So technically that doesn't count anymore, even though I'm still going to count it personally. That was before they were even kind of counting in their main canon. They weren't always counting Saudi Arabia things yet, but yeah, Shawn Michaels' retirement from wrestling might be my favorite of the ones that happened. The best exit for the title, the best title loss. I'm going to think on that more, and maybe I'll have an answer for you guys soon in that. But I'll think on that one and get back to it. Best exit from a title reign. The more truth says I'm driving, and he's say he's gonna kill him. Dang.
Why are you getting in my matches? Not personal. It had nothing to do with you.
Oh, Oh, Priest is here. Let Priest talk the truth. Black. Hey, JR.
There's no need for any of that. I get that you're frustrated. I really do. You just can't. There's no reason, man. I used to do that. And you were the guy that would stand right here and make me smile. Make the world smile. All that anger, that negativity, focus that on your match tonight. Focus that on John Cena. Go out there and handle your business with Cena tonight. And me and you go downtown and celebrate. How's that sound?
Aw. So wholesome. What is Truth really thinking, though? I love that. I love that callback to the Judgment Day days. The live, laugh, love of the Judgment Day. Priest returning the favor to Truth. That was a good segment. That was a good use of Priest. We'll see if it sticks. And also Alistair gets a little more, I don't know what you call it, just a little more momentum back in his in himself for confronting Truth without them coming to blows. Charlotte Flair and Chelsea Green confirmed for tonight. Papa John's brings you Chelsea Green and Charlotte Flair. So who do we got next? Oh, Cody. That's right. They told us that before the commercial break. Here comes the American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes, get your woes ready. And we'll do this thing. Allison, the answer was right in front of me. A long-standing champion had the best exit from their title. It was a match that made me a fan of professional wrestling. It was the Macho Man Randy Savage holding that title right there, the Intercontinental title. Lost it to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Never held that title again. Held that title for over a year. And whoa. Sorry, we all have to do that together, right? And it was one of the best. It's one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time. And he held that title like Gollum with the ring. And the match, he had to lose it, was solid. It was built behind a feud of real anger and revenge. Yeah, and it was no notes. It was great. All right, Cody coming out like the stock market just closed, and he's ready to kick loose a little with unwind with some Wheatleys. So we're going to see him probably address Seth Rollins, maybe address King of the Ring, the fact that he's got Jey Uso on Monday. I wonder if Jay's in the house. If they're going to do anything to build to that match on Monday, or just let Cody take the reins and talk about it. And you gotta wonder, you gotta assume that Cody will project himself to winning King of the Ring and challenging John Cena at SummerSlam as well. But we'll see what he's got to say. I'm sure he'll ask us what we want to talk about, but we want to know what he's got to say. People got to know when to hang up the gloves, so to speak, and have a graceful exit that helps the future of the company and honestly helps their own legacy too. I am reminded of the musical Hamilton and President George Washington and his song One Last Time. You need to know when to leave so the people know how to move on. Absolutely. Cena needs to leave on good terms. People want to see him leave on good terms. So hopefully that will come to fruition. We still have 6 months left with Cena. We'll see what happens. All right, let's see what Cody's got to say. Jay is here. Okay. We get no words from Cody yet because Jay's in the house. And Grand Rapids has woke up. Cody doesn't look too particularly pleased to be interrupted. He doesn't look mad, just nonplussed, if you will. That poor little girl has no rhythm whatsoever. She can't eat with Jay, but he picked her. Okay, she got there. She got there. Like many young white kids, you know, the rhythm, we need a little help in the beginning. But we can get there if you just give us enough time. I do love this Bret Hart era of Jey Uso, of, you know, identifying with kids in the crowd. He doesn't give away his sunglasses like Bret used to do anymore. He did that for a little bit. I wonder if those are customized, because the last time I checked, WWE Shop doesn't sell those sunglasses, the ones that he wears that actually have the big yeet across, probably because it's a vision barrier. But like if they sold those and they had those mass produced, I know he'd give them away every time he comes out. Because Bret used to have these like cheap plastic pink wraparound glasses he would have, and he'd always give it to a kid in the front row back when tickets probably cost $35 to sit in the front row. But now all these spoiled rich kids sitting in the front row, they don't need an extra pair of sunglasses. They can go to Fanatics and buy their own. This rant brought to you by my bank account and TKO's ticket pricing. All right. What kind of shoes does Jay have on? They definitely look like the shoes he was wearing when he came into the arena, and that he didn't bring any like on TV shoes. I am in no place to hate on another man's shoes. But a lot of times these guys, you know, they show out a little bit what's on their feet. That's true, Allison. You give away the shades at the top of the ramp in the higher seats. Give away the shades there. You can still do it. All right, Grand Rapids, don't ask for an encore. We do want the promo to actually happen. Crowd's still in it. It's interesting to have Jay and Cody in the ring together, and you can actually compare and contrast their if they compare and contrast their crowd reactions back to back. Like, I think they are equally loud, but Jay Uso easily, and I'm going to extend this to AEW, New Japan, whatever, everything I've seen with my own eyes, easily has the longest, most sustained crowd pop in wrestling right now. And that drives some people crazy, and they can get over it and go cry to their mama. Like, it's wild how beloved he is. Wonder if they ask the kids' parents before the show starts. My guess is that they don't before the show starts, but I bet they probably get them during one of the commercial breaks, right before Jay comes out. Wow, they did ask for an encore. Even Cody like gave him the go ahead. Cody thought the camera wasn't on him for a second, and that dude was cheesing, grinning for Jay. That's the kind of stuff I like to see. The stuff you're not really supposed to see, and you can see his genuine pride for Jay in that moment. That's just super sweet. Whatever happens with this match and this angle, behind the curtain, Cody is probably so happy for him. But now Jay's got to cut a promo. I hope he didn't eat too hard.
From fighting my family to winning tag team gold to finishing our stories at WrestleMania. We both been to the mountaintop. But Cody, this Monday, Oops, there's only room for one of us.
Pay attention to the fact that he told the crowd to stop eating and they obeyed him.
There's only room for one of us. Oops. You against me, me against you. Look at me, Oops. I know you're gonna bring it. But you're gonna bring it. And you gotta get mine, Oops. I gotta get mine, Cody. Just like you gotta get yours. All right. That being said, Oops, I know it ain't personal. It's strictly business. But with that being said, too, Oops, on Monday night, after me and you go to war, please believe it's gonna be 4 letters, 1 word.
Wow. Dude is so over. So over. Hey, George. Good to see you, man. Thank all you guys for coming in and hanging with me tonight, too. I know A and B are going live, and I'm sure you guys are jumping back and forth because they love having you around. Sammy is here, too. The whole family's just going to come hang out tonight. If Randy comes out and this is just like a 4-way love fest, Sammy's in his gear already, too. So I'm imagining we're getting that match maybe next. I asked the question last week when oh, George, you're at a hotel. All right, man. Listen, dude, I'll pray that process gets done quickly, man. Hopefully there's no obstacles in the way and everything processes on time and you can get into your own digs there, you know what I mean? And be there. Hope to see you soon. Hope to hear that you're there soon, you know what I mean? I said last week I wasn't sure how they would handle basically 4 really good friends being the final combatants in King of the Ring. But here we are. They're doing something with it. Shout out to that. Love fest here. Sammy just wants to cry. This is nice. Hey, Rickety, man. Good to see you, man. Thank you for stopping by. Good to see you.
If I may say so, 2 of the very best that this business has to offer. Now, I'd be lying if I said there wasn't a part of me that is very, very aware that the 3 of us standing in this ring, there's only one of us who has never won the world championship.
That would be you, Sammy. I mean, Cross is definitely in the shadows at some point, and that match is going to happen.
I have no reason to be in Las Vegas. I got my ass on a flight for one reason, and it was to make sure that I was there to congratulate you when you won the world championship. I love you, and I'm proud of you. And Cody, for years, every one of us watched with bated breath as you tried to finish your story. And when you did the unthinkable, and you did Roman Reigns in the middle of the ring at WrestleMania, I was the first one to run through these ropes to congratulate you. I'm proud that you.
Well, Brandy was the first one, really, but still, of the wrestlers.
So I hope both of you understand that now it is time for me to finish my story.
Well, here comes Randy. All right, we're going to have all 4 of them in the ring at the same time. Why not? This will be interesting. We'll hear what Randy's got to say. Yeah, Sammy does have a story to finish. I don't want him to win King of the Ring, though. I want him to win the Royal Rumble. I want Sammy to win the Royal Rumble and for him to win the title at WrestleMania next year. That's my hope for it. But you know what? They have so many options to work with right now. Okay. Crowd singing along. Loud. These might be, these are 4 of, maybe not the most, but 4 of the most beloved baby faces in the company right now. I mean, you could put Roman on that list, but he hadn't been around. Punk is probably the only one that's missing right now in terms of who these crowds love to cheer for. I mean, LA Knight, Jacob Fatu, but there's a lot. Grand Rapids has been a really good crowd tonight. A really good crowd. We've had good matches tonight. We've had good segments. It's been a really solid show.
There is no line that I will not cross, even if it means going through you, so that I can get to John Cena at SummerSlam weekend and get my 15th World Championship.
All right, Randy's at least real talking.
Bruce. Smackdown. Our families go way, way, way. Not so fun, Bob, dude, but if you're standing across the ring from me in SummerSlam, it's not going to be 4 letters, it's 1 word. It's going to be 3 letters in 1 move.
Randy's cutting a great promo here. He's the only one. I think he's the most business focused out of all 4 of them. Teflon Don, good to see you. Sammy needs to get his ass out of my ring and go back to Home Depot. I can't see what everyone sees him. He's an upper to mid Carter at best. Just my opinion. You're more than entitled to that, Teflon Don. I'm always going to have a little bit of an affinity for the overlooked underdog babyface. I mean, Ricky Steamboat was my first favorite wrestler. Sting was an underdog at one point, believe it or not, in his career. Yeah, so like it's all good, but I still want to see Sammy overcome. So it is what it is, but I hear what you're saying. A lot of people felt that way about Mick Foley too, and a whole lot more people didn't feel that way about him. So, I feel like his time will come. I don't know that to carry a pun from John Cena, I don't know that his time is now, but I think his time will come. Oh, that would be nasty, Justin. That's some nasty Bryan Danielson level work right there. If Sammy won the King of the Ring, won the world title, and then got cashed in on, that would be some sick work. Yeah. So Sammy and Randy coming up next. Sting was your favorite wrestler. Okay, Teflon Don, tell me, just so I can have some context. When did you become a wrestling fan, and what era of Sting were you introduced to? I'm curious. And this has nothing to do with analyzing you as a wrestling fan or anything like that. I'm just curious which Sting you met first, if you know what I mean. Curious about that. So Rickardy thinks Cody is mid and he wore the belt. Well, you and I are just going to disagree on that. Cody's not mid. I mean, you just listen to that crowd. He controls that whole universe in the palm of his hand. And I'm not saying this is you, Rickardy, but I think there is a strong contingent of online fans who they just don't want to like Cody because he's a babyface right now. Cody is a Rhodes, and that man knows how to be an effective professional wrestler. So one of these days, probably years from now, he will turn heel and he'll be doing nasty work there as well. It's okay. Your opinion is welcome, Rickardy. Absolutely. Your opinion is totally welcome. You were introduced to Sting back in the WCW days along with Booker T. So tell me, was it Crow Sting, like Sting versus NWO Sting, or like Wolfpack Sting, or do you go as far back as like Surfer Sting? So just to give you some background on where I'm asking. So the first time I saw Sting was him fighting Ric Flair in '88 at the first Clash of Champions. So he was still like full on Surfer. Crow Sting. All right. Crow Sting, one of, if not the best Sting. Pre Wolfpack, before the Wolfpack, Crow Sting might be the best Sting there ever was. I do have an affection for the Surfer Sting as well, because that was the one I first saw. From like, 88 to like 93 3 until his hair started. Still, he stopped dyeing his hair and started to turn darker. Yeah, but Crow Sting, excellent stuff. Big fan of Crow Sting, and Surfer Sting was fantastic as well. I didn't watch a lot of Sting in TNA. I know he kind of did the Joker Sting thing there for a while, which some people are fans of. But we are coming back now, though, and this Sami Zayn, Randy Orton is off now. We are here, King of the Ring. All right, let's drop our opinions right now. Sami Zayn or Randy Orton? Who do you think is going to win? I'm just going to go out on a limb. I have nothing other than imagining who might be a more compelling opponent for Jay or Cody in the final. I'm gonna pick Sami. I'm gonna pick Sami for this, and it would be interesting if Cross was here to help affect that change. But I think Sami versus Cody or Sami versus Jay in Saudi Arabia would be a wild match. Obviously, Cody versus Randy would be really amazing in Saudi Arabia too. But if it were up to me, I would wait until Cody and Randy have an actual story to face each other rather than just King of the Ring tournament. Cross and RKO would be a good match, Rickety. Yeah. And those would be good promos. What's funny is that Cross always looks so big and intimidating to me, but I bet if you put him in there with Randy, he would look not mid, but average, just average height. Sami with the fake out. We're not going to commercial break because he didn't actually dive over the ropes. Little programming humor there. Randy a little agitated that he fell for it. Hey, A and B combos. Thanks for hopping in, ready to get down with the fellow coalition member. Mark by Wrestling, give me a, oh yeah. I hope you guys are having a good show. What a great episode of Smackdown tonight. I'm having a great time. Quality matches, quality booking. That last little promo segment was a lot of fun. Gotta love it. Oh man. Oh, Sami eats that backdrop on the announce table. Oh, another one. Come on, Grand Rapids. Why you got to one more time Sami like that? Teflon Don. Billy Kidman unmasked Rey Mysterio. May spells wrong, but Juventud Guerrera. Yeah, okay, some of your favorites. Oh, the Filthy Animals back in those days. Dude, I loved all those guys. I preferred just a couple of years earlier in the cruiserweight division, like back when Jericho was still there, and all those guys were there too. Are we getting a third one? Oh man, Randy tried to go for 3 back suplexes here. But yes, those times in WCW, even though the company itself backstage was kind of a mess, had such insane good talent back in those days. Great stuff. So, oh yeah, Saturday we've got the July 12th, we've got the Great American Bash from NXT. We're going to be hosting it right here on Marked by Wrestling. Definitely going to be doing the Great American Bash. We'll have Saturday night's main event and Evolution that weekend as well. Lots and lots of fun. Justin, the promos with Jacob Fatu and Karrion Kross. they'd be interesting because both of them have such different methods to their promos. I wonder how they would be with one another. I wonder if they'd have the chemistry together. I am curious about that, though. 3. Randy dropping bombs, pacing himself with the 10 count punch. But Sammy fighting back. And now he's up on the corner, punching faster. And he gets all 10. Also, going back to talking about WCW really quick, the WCW mid card, they had 2 mid card titles in WCW. They had the US title and the TV title, and the performers there were phenomenal at that time. You had, I'm not going in any order, but you had Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, Diamond Dallas Page, Raven, had Goldberg briefly, William Regal, Ultimo Dragon, who was also in the Cruiserweight division as well. So many great in-ring performers that WCW had between 95 and I'd say 2000. Just great workers. And even the Steiners individually as well at that point after they broke up. And Bret Hart briefly, even though he deserved to be in the world title picture the whole time, he was there for a bit. But yes, I loved the TV title too. You know what? The TV title was one of my favorite looking titles until about the time Nitro went on the air. I hated the look of that title from then until the end of WCW. But before that, everywhere from like 87 or 86, from 1986 to about 1994, the look of the TV title went through maybe 3 iterations. The first 2 were very similar to each other. They were just a change in color, but maybe 4. But such a great looking belt. And yes, the TV aspect, that it was always going to be a title defended on TV was a great thing back in those days, because you weren't getting other titles defended as much back in then, if not at all. Justin, who asks, who do you think is the best tag team, has the best tag team division? ECW, WCW, or WWF? Well, part of it I'm going to ask is the era that you're talking about. Nasty power slam, patented power slam from Randy Orton. As I'm thinking through this, I'll say this. I don't think ECW was ever in the conversation. They had the Dudleys, but I don't think ECW was ever going to have an argument for being the strongest division. The WWF had a very strong tag division in the late 80s, and so did the NWA / WCW. So I would say from like 87 till about 91, that the Hulk Hogan, the peak Hulkamania years, I think the WWF might have had a slight edge there. But then I think I would give it to WCW after pretty much when Ric Flair came to WWF. I would say around that time, the tag team division in WCW was much better. And then, oh man. And I would say in the first half of the Monday Night Wars, WCW was a better tag division. And then in the second half of the Monday Night Wars, 98 to 01. So I'd say 95 to 98 WCW, 98 to like 2001 WWF. And then at that point, everybody else went out of business. But so if you're counting the total number of years, I would say WWF probably has the best tag division. But when WCW was really good, they were so good. So good. Oh, wow. He catches this power slam right out of the Haluva kick. So clean. But you're not going to pin Sami Zayn with a power slam, Randy. You know it's going to take an RKO. You know it's going to take an RKO. Yeah, I think. Ooh. Yeah, I think 92 to 93, surprisingly. WCW tag teams might have been among the best. You had the Steiners, you had the Dangerous Alliance, you had Terry Gordy and Dr. Death Steve Williams. I think you had the Head Shrinkers for a little while. Oh no, he misses the Haluva kick. Sammy cannot get his signature moves down, and Randy is just waiting. He's just laying in wait for that RKO. Oh, Sammy reverses it to the Blue Thunder Bomb. Wow. 2.99999. Great kick out by Randy. And then you had the Road Warriors briefly in WCW in that time as well. Wait, that was later. That was in the Nitro era. They came back again. Nevertheless, this is awesome. Well justified. Well earned. This is awesome chance. The winner goes to Saudi Arabia and is in the finals of King of the Ring. Randy Orton was in the finals of King of the Ring last year, by the way, just as a reminder. Coming off the top, rolls through. Randy catches him. Oh, no. RKO misses. Sammy's got him scoped out. Does he hit the? No. Haluva kick countered into the RKO. That's got to be it. 1, 2. Randy Orton goes to the finals of King of the Ring. It's not yet time for Sami Zayn. I'm sure Karrion Kross will have something smarmy to say about it on Monday Night Raw. But man, he's gesturing 15. He's gesturing 15. Listen, Randy is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Of these previously 4 remaining men, you're going to have a quality matchup no matter what happens. But you got to think Cody's going to beat Jay at this point, right? And they're going to give us Cody and Randy. You think we're going to get Jay and Randy for the King of the Ring? I don't know. What do you guys think? Here's Nia. Nia walking backstage. All done up and coming out to the ring next. A really good match. Fantastic finishing sequence. Chronic and WCW. Yeah, so I remember those two guys from their new generation WWF era, Adam Bomb and Kona Crush. Well, Crush went through multiple iterations. It was heel Crush. He was Disciples of Apocalypse Crush, who feuded with the Nation of Domination. I liked Chronic though, because I liked both of those guys. Them as just kind of a sort of new Road Warrior style tag team where they just came in, beat dudes up, double choke slammed them, called it a night. Was a lot of fun. So I liked them as a team. I thought they were very time and place. You know, they had that. Excuse me. They had that very. Oh yeah, he was Demolition Crush too, right? That's how he started. Was as Crush from Demolition. And they looked very 1999, you know, very Matrix-ish kind of stuff, but they were, you know, just two giant dudes beating guys up. So yeah, I liked Chronic fine. I if I'm being honest, they probably wouldn't rank very highly on my like all-time tag team list, but when they were, you know, when they were in the WCW tag division, they were some of the best. Pretty Richie, hey man, how you doing? So glad you're in here tonight, dude. If you're just joining us, by the way, wonderful episode of Smackdown tonight. I would say there hasn't been any low points yet. I mean, some of you guys are entitled to your opinion if you disagree, but just a quick recap if you guys have not been with us the whole time, or at least been watching SmackDown, LA Knight starts off the night, calls out the Seth Rollins crew, gets met by Paul Heyman. He holds his own against both Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed with the help of a chair. Seth Rollins does not make an appearance. And we end up getting LA Knight versus Bronson Reed booked for tonight. Later on the show, that match hasn't happened yet. Also, Asuka goes over on Alexa Bliss. That's a match worth revisiting. Asuka is going to the finals to face the winner of Jade Cargill and Roxanne Perez, which will happen on Monday night. Great match, though, by Alexa. Both King and Queen of the Ring matches were really good tonight. We just finished the Sammy versus Randy match. The finisher sequence at the end of that match was excellent. It was PLE worthy. And Randy ultimately came out on top with an RKO, as he is wont to do. Also, Chelsea Green and the Secret Herbalist kind of mocks Alexa Bliss after the match backstage. Charlotte Flair rolls up and still refuses to admit she wants to be Alexa's friend, but challenges Chelsea Green for later in the night. Ron Killings ruins an Aleister Black match by just hijacking the show, and is talked down backstage to maybe channeling his anger towards John Cena, which that match is also later tonight, by Damian Priest, who shared a little Judgment Day moment with R-Truth, which was really cool to see. That was great as well. And then before the Sammy and Randy match, we had a 4-way promo between Sammy, Randy, and Cody and Jay. A lot of fun. Nia Jax on her way to the ring now. Yeah, you know what, Richie? I understand how you feel about Sammy not moving forward right now, but I'm gonna sit here and hold out hope that there is a Royal Rumble plan in Saudi Arabia for Sami Zayn. Because you're right, he does have some business with Karrion Kross to conclude before he can truly be focused on being a champion. So we're replaying last week Nia Jax ambushing Tiffany Stratton after Naomi's promo with her. And then Naomi teasing a cash in, but doesn't do it. Gene Kaniski. Man, I did not remember that. That's right. Nia is in the building. Let's see what Nia has to say. Nia's got a great fashion sense, for sure. What's crazy, Nia? How dare they what Nia Jax? She just got started. Grand Rapids, this is your first L of the night. Your first L of the night. Shut up, Grand Rapids. The Lions are overrated. Dang, Nia's eyes rolled so hard she looked like the Undertaker for a second. She's so annoyed by Tiffy coming out. Tiffy coming out here like she's about to work a shift at a place that I'll never go to. NWA Missouri title from Terry Funk. Man, Terry Funk is timeless. Okay, so we get Tiffany and Nia next week. And the crowd doesn't sound happy about it.
a regular match. This is gonna be a last woman standing.
Okay, Tiffany and Nia in Last Woman Standing next week. At least there's a gimmick to it. Oh, man. Wow. Spinebuster from Nia, and it kind of looked like she hit her head on the belt on the way down. Leg drop seals it. And Nia posing with the belt. Honestly, this would be a great time for a cash in, but Nia is still standing right there. But she just got squashed. What's she going to do? One more time. Another leg drop. Taunting the crowd. Go ahead and taunt them, Nia. They whatted you. What's she doing now? Nia just chanting, Naomi's here. Naomi's here. She's running in. Crowd is hot. Is Nia going to get in the way? She says she wants to cash in. No. Nia is interrupting. Naomi is trying to cash in, but Nia, oh. Well, now Tiffany's recovering. Wow. And now Tiffany knocks Naomi off the apron onto Nia. Tiffany survives. Oh, man. Dude, Naomi still got those razor blades in her hair too, man. She got to be careful with that. I think Tiffy time's almost up, y'all. I think Naomi's going to catch her. She's going to catch her slipping at some point. Tiffany is good at wrestling moves, but I don't know. There's something intangible missing there for me to truly love her the way I like Nia and Naomi, honestly. And it's not melanin, if that's what you're asking. But it just came to mind. Yeah. Seriously, like Naomi's about to Moxley a few people out here just by whipping her hair back and forth. Yeah. Well, listen, here's the thing. Next week is Last Woman Standing. Like, that's a peak moment opportunity for Naomi to cash in as well. I think they're going to keep trying. I've got a yin yang here. Oh, it's a video package about Punk and Cena. I thought that was going to be a promo for like somebody else. All right, we're seeing, some archive footage here from Money in the Bank 2011, WrestleMania 21. Babyface John Cena. Good stuff. Seriously, man, Naomi gonna have to watch herself if she's gonna keep all that, all them razors in her hair. But man, Tiffy's got to be done here soon. I mean, she's good at wrestling moves, but I don't know that she's ready to get. It pains me to try to make Charlotte sound right, but I don't know that she's ready to carry that division. I think Naomi can do it. I think Nia would be better at it than Tiffy, but I want to see Naomi the Butcher. Naomi going to open up a rib joint in Atlanta sometime soon. I would eat there. If Naomi actually opened up a barbecue joint in Fulton County or Gwinnett County or wherever. Well, no, I mean, I don't know about Gwinnett County, but like Fulton County, Clayton County, something like that. I would go there. I would go there in a heartbeat. Her and Big Jim's barbecue I'd be down for that. Even if it was just like Asian barbecue as well. Like, I mean, Hawaiian barbecue is just as dope as Southern barbecue. But yes, exactly. Tiffy needs more experience to be the person, to be the woman. Like, very good wrestler. She can continue to have good matches. But having good matches doesn't make you the face of your division. And yes, let the hearers understand that applies to every company everywhere. Naomi Death Rider. Loving it, man. So good. But yeah, man, Naomi, all her caution tape and stuff, she could open up a barbecue joint and it'd be working great on I-75 North. Team Bad, yeah. Team Bad, that was in hindsight, a solid group. Everybody but Team Bella back in those days. Honestly, a really solid group. A lot of those ladies switchbladed. Yep, she switchblades out. Corey Graves just dawned on me as doing the voiceover for this. Shout out to Corey Graves. He is, ever since Worlds Collide, has really stepped up his game. I thought he did a great job with Conan on Worlds Collide when we watched that together here at Mark by Wrestling. And also him filling in for McAfee on Raw on Monday. He settled into the color commentary role super well. I mean, it's not like he's a rookie, but sometimes Corey rubs me the wrong way a little bit, like trying too hard to be the edgy announcer. But I thought he's been playing this role perfectly the past several weeks. It's a good thing. Did Pretty Rich just mention my queen Naya's name? I love you, Naya. Listen, at Mark by Wrestling, we all have respect for Naya. We don't discriminate. I dig Naya. I dig Naomi. Two queens of the women's division on Smackdown. I prefer them both to Tiffany. 100%. John Cena, CM Punk, Night of Champions next weekend, y'all. It's going to be something else. Pledge your allegiance to Chelsea Green, everybody. Here comes our Canadian-American hero. Why doesn't Chelsea Green get a parade? That's what I want to know. Chelsea Green deserves a parade. Secret Hervis and all them. Here she comes with her rainbow face mask after a broken nose. I do miss Samantha Irvin's announcement of Chelsea Green. You were a hater till her return. Are we talking about Naya Rickardy? She's far better than she was when she was here before. Okay, some stat time with Pretty Richie. Thank you for the stats. Let's review. Out of 14 matches, they both have won 6 and 2 ending in a draw between Punk and Cena. So this is a bit of a rubber match at Night of Champions. What a fantastic stat. Really appreciate that as well. Thank you so much, Pretty Richie, for sharing that. Speaking of trivia and facts, there is, I'm going to find my way back, the last rubber match. Exactly. This is going to dictate who wins the series. And that's going to upset one fan base or the other, I can tell. Did you guys know that out of every King of the Ring tournament on record, that 0 King of the Ring winners have defeated follow me on this. There has not been a King of the Ring winner whose pathway to that King of the Ring championship features all Hall of Famers. I thought at this point someone would have achieved that because I was trying to think about King of the Ring stuff to discuss with you guys in nature of, me and what I do. Real quick, let me show you guys a little visual aid because that's what we do here at Marked by Wrestling. It's visual aids. The first ever PLE or pay-per-view King of the Ring. So real quick, there were other Kings of the Ring, right? King of the Ring was a title that took place. And it existed before PLEs. So they had basically like house show untelevised King of the Rings. And what I'm trying to see here real quick is who the previous ones were. I know who some of them are off the top of my head, but I want to give them to you in order. And before 1993, they were house shows, again, like we said. But the first ever King of the Ring was the magnificent Don Morocco. And now when I say king, I'm not talking about the gimmick. I'm not talking about, the Macho King. I'm not talking about Hacksaw Jim Duggan. That's the king gimmick. But there was an actual King of the Ring tournament. And in 1985 was the first one. Don Morocco beat the Iron Sheik to win the first ever King of the Ring tournament. Harley Race, which Rickardy did mention, Harley Race was the second King of the Ring. He beat Pedro Morales. Randy Savage, not the Macho King gimmick, but did win the King of the Ring tournament in 1987 and beat King Kong Bundy in the finals. And then in 1988, this is pretty wild, but in 1988, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, beat the Macho Man, Randy Savage, to be King of the Ring in 1988. And you should know this happened in October of 1988. So it was a rematch from the finals of WrestleMania 4, and Randy would have been world champion at that time. And after that, the final non-televised King of the Ring, Tito Santana beat Rick Martel. Strikeforce exploded for the final non-televised King of the Ring. Now, Bret the Hitman Hart, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, as Chelsea Green is in the ring awaiting Charlotte to enter, was the first PLE King of the Ring in 1993. And he went through Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, he went through Mr. Perfect, and Bam Bam Bigelow. All three of them in one night, never once used the sharpshooter. Beat all three of them without his finisher, which is a special piece of trivia for there. And as I was thinking about that tournament today, I was like, man, is Bam Bam Bigelow in the Hall of Fame? Because it would be awesome to say that not only did Bret win that tournament without his finisher, but he beat 3 Hall of Famers to do it. Bam Bam Bigelow is not yet in the WWE Hall of Fame. Bam Bam Bigelow should be in the Hall of Fame. Hands up, anybody agree? So that got me thinking, are there any King of the Ring winners who beat 3 Hall of Famers, or however many matches they had to win the tournament? And the answer is no. There has not been a King of the Ring winner who went through a pathway of Hall of Famers to win King of the Ring. The second closest, by my cursory research, was Brock Lesnar in 2002, who beat Rob Van Dam, Booker T, and Bubba Ray Dudley, but he also beat Test, who is also not in the Hall of Fame. So if Test or Bam Bam Bigelow gets into the Hall of Fame, then we will be able to say that Bret or Brock ran through a pathway of Hall of Famers to win their King of the Ring crown. Also, Gunther, very recently, I think Gunther will make that list from 2024 because obviously all of his opponents are still active. But just listen, let me remind you of the list that Gunther went through to win King of the Ring. Gunther beat Sheamus, Kofi Kingston, Jey Uso, and Randy Orton. All 4 of them are 100% going into the Hall of Fame one day, unless they Chris Benoit somebody. Sheamus is a no-brainer. He's 1 title away from being a Grand Slam winner as Charlotte enters the ring, and Chelsea is just face-planting her in the ring. Dashing Chelsea Green. Kofi, the New Day, will definitely be in the Hall of Fame, if not Kofi by himself. Jey Uso is clearly on a pathway to being a Hall of Famer, if maybe a 2-time Hall of Famer. And then Randy, of course, might be the most obvious King of the Ring, obvious Hall of Famer that hasn't yet been inducted. So you asked about Stone Cold, Pretty Richie. So Stone Cold so he has a couple that were in there. I'm going to go back to the list and give you the listing really quick. And we'll do that. If it makes Crossbody from Charlotte gets 2. So Austin's path, I know it ended with Jake the Snake, who is a Hall of Famer, but he beat Mark Marrow, who I doubt he'll get in, maybe. So All right. Alba Fire getting involved. The numbers gang. So Steve Austin beat Hardcore Holly, Savio Vega, Mark Merrow, and Jake the Snake. Three of those, one of those is in the Hall of Fame, Jake the Snake Roberts, and it's going to be a really hard path for Austin's path. But Austin has the disadvantage of winning King of the Ring when the roster was actually kind of weak. That's when Austin 316 was birthed, but the issue among there is that the roster just wasn't up to snuff yet. It would maybe a year away, a year or 2 years away from it. So Justin asked about Booker T. So yeah, let's discuss Booker T. I think Savio has I think he absolutely has a claim to it. Let me go back and see here about Booker T. Yes, when will I be able to have channel membership? So that's what I'm doing right now. That's part of the reason why I'm live tonight, even though our good friends A and B are live tonight as well. So I am short on public viewing hours for my channel. And so that's what I'm trying to do is create more content. I am doing 2K videos as well. I also, by the way, if any of you guys are just wanting to help me out while you're working out or while you're studying or just having YouTube on in the background, if you want to help us get to membership, I have a playlist of all my videos that will just run in the background and will help boost up my public viewing hours. So right now, I'm just gonna research this for you guys real quick and tell you where I'm at. So I have to get 3,000 public viewing hours for us to have memberships and for us to have super chats. And right now we're only at 800. So we still have a long way to go with that. So I'm going to start going live more frequently when I can to help boosting that up. So anytime you guys spend with me and listen, everybody in this chat right now, you guys are doing a wonderful job because I see you guys every time I'm here. So you guys are loyal and faithful and good friends. And I appreciate not just the rub from getting the hours, but really like you guys are such a strong and good and positive community. And it's just fun to talk, fun to share our joy and our love of wrestling and not complain all the time. You know, like when you get on X or you get on Facebook or other Instagram or social media, there's always people who've got something they want to whine about, even other YouTubers. But here, the coalition, myself, A and B combos, like I try my best to keep it positive, to keep it forward thinking, to keep it hopeful, to keep it optimistic. Because when I thought that way, that was when I loved wrestling the most. Yeah, haters. I mean, the world has enough haters. We don't need to add to it. We need to be different. So we're going to be different at this channel. So when you're with me, you're going to be different with me, and we're going to do this thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have another very close qualifier for King of the Ring. So who I'm going to give you credit. Justin Hallen Crane asked, "What about Booker T?" This was Booker T's pathway to King of the Ring, and I think ultimately Booker T will be one of those guys. So Booker T beat Matt Hardy, Kurt Angle, who's already there, and Bobby Lashley at the end. Lashley is not yet in the Hall of Fame. He absolutely will one day. I'm sure he'll return to WWE when he's done with AEW one of these days. So it is what it is. Fan for 50 plus years, Rickety. God bless you, man. I'm right behind you. I'm around 40 years myself, and I've ever since Saturday night's main event was doing a go home show for WrestleMania 3. I am absolutely loving it. Yeah, we're all wrestling nerds here, and you know what? Here's the thing. Our Teflon Don, our mod father, says it well. We're all wrestling nerds here, and I love it. I chose the name Marked by Wrestling because being a mark, and I say this every week, it just means you believe, and believing makes wrestling better. But what underneath all that, being a mark's not an insult. So when you run across someone who's calling you a mark, it's silly. It is silly as hell, y'all. And I'll tell you why. Because there's not a wrestling fan that exists who isn't a mark. We all are. But here, we know that we are. We know that we are, and that's part of what makes this fun. So we're going to keep having fun because that's who we are here, and that's who we are together. Chelsea with the advantage. Woo! Chelsea almost pulled one over on the queen. Justin wants to know, did you know AJ Francis is the only hit row member holding a title right now? You're right. Because Swerve, Chelsea took off her mask. Is that going to backfire? She needs to El Grande Americano this and headbutt with that mask. She's going for the unprettier without the mask. Oh, no. Charlotte going to hit her with a spear. Wow, a somersault spear. Just 2, though. Now she's going for the figure 8. This could be the end. Oh, pulls the hair. Small package. Oh, just 2. Charlotte's going for it again, though. Come on, Charlotte. Come on, Chelsea. Nope. Oh, she's going. She's going for that figure 8. She's got it out, and Chelsea taps. Oh! Oh, no. Piper just crushed Charlotte right when she was in the figure 8 position. That was some nasty work, and I'm here for it. I like it when Piper just throws caution to the wind and drops. Oh, here comes Alexa. Is she going to help Charlotte? I have a hard time believing she was able to make Piper hurt, but whatever. Uh-oh. Sister Abigail DDT to Charlotte. I mean, not Charlotte, Chelsea. Gosh, I'm having a hard time with their names tonight. To be fair, other than color, Charlotte and Chelsea's gear are almost identical. Well, now Alexa rescues Charlotte from a beatdown and now just keeps her distance to say, I saved you. But yeah, you're right. Swerve, B-Fab, Ashante, none of them currently holding titles. Charlotte's still brushing her off. You know what? If they keep playing this out, call me crazy. You guys can be prepared to call me crazy, okay? If they drag this out for the right amount of time, the crowd is going to love Charlotte when she eventually embraces Alexa. This reminds me of when, do you remember when Seth Rollins and Moxley, Dean Ambrose, whatever you want to call them, when they kept teasing them like joining up again to be a tag team and neither one of them wanted to do it? And then eventually they did, and the crowd went nuts. I think Charlotte's going to get there. Anyway, but you're right, Justin. AJ Francis is the only member of Hit Row currently holding a title, but B-Fab might get her a tag title here soon. Even JC knows Solo is a fool. This is hilarious. Delusionally confident Solo Sikoa is a very nice wrinkle to this Temu Bloodline story. I can't remember. Rickardy, you give me remind me, guys. I don't know this off the top of my head. I remember a time where Charlotte and Becky were feuding with the Kabuki Warriors, I want to say, with Kairi and Asuka, I think. Did Charlotte and Becky briefly hold the tag titles at that time? Because I only really remember Charlotte for singles titles. Let me see if I can confirm this, and we'll check. But I do remember the tag titles being involved in that. We'll see. Let's see. Yes, she was actually a tag champion with Asuka at one time. I do not remember that, which should tell you all that we need to know about that. Let me see if I can look up the history of the women's tag titles, because surely somebody's got that fleshed out. Let's see. All right. So Asuka and Charlotte Flair won the tag titles at TLC in 2020. They beat Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for those titles, held the belts for 42 days, and lost them back to Nia and Shayna at the Royal Rumble kickoff in 2021. So I think part of the reason none of us remember is because it was during the Thunderdome era. So yeah, I don't recall that at all. Yeah, that was a real blur. There are quite a few title changes. Bliss Cross, Bailey and Sasha, Nia, Shayna, Asuka, Charlotte, Nia, Shayna. During those times, during those Thunderdome times. So, all right, chat, Modfather, your Modfather has a question. Question of the day: would you rather get 6 consecutive chops by Gunther or 2 tsunamis from Bronson Reed? It's a good question. It's like, do you want external bleeding or internal bleeding? Is really kind of the question, right? Yeah, that's a tough call. My gut initially was to say the 2 tsunamis, but you don't have any control over the velocity of Bronson Reed. But 6 chops is a lot of chops. I'm assuming we're bare chested when we take those chops. But yeah, first ever 2-night. Yeah, first 2-night SummerSlam on the way this August. It's going to be interesting as Solo Sikoa makes his way out to the arena to confront Justin says both. I still like Solo's theme music, even though it's not as befitting of him anymore with the sort of goofiness that he carries. But he's about to confront Jacob Fatu, and I just don't see this going his way. We're going to find out now if Solo's got anything planned up his sleeve. Let's see what happens. Chat, tell me what you think. What do you think of JC Mateo so far? What do you think? I'm walking around with a chest like Kobe. Man, yeah. Jacob ain't ready to reconcile. I can tell you that right now. But anyway, what are you guys thinking about JC Mateo so far, Jeff Cobb? How do you think he fits in so far with the main roster, with this bloodline-ish story? I feel like the proper characterization of the sort of bloodline menace has almost been permanently disadvantaged by the presence of Jacob Fatu, because Solo was nasty work before Jacob showed up, and now he looks like a second fiddle. And for me, JC, I think he's good, but it's hard to view him in the same breath as Jacob Fatu. So I don't think he's in trouble. I think he'll still have something good to do, but Solo is now calling out Jacob. Let's see what happens. With open arms.
So if you're back there, come on out so we can clear the air.
All right. Here comes the werewolf. The moon is full. Does Jacob doesn't have new music, right? That might be the first time I've been able to hear the opening riff to his song, but I like it. it's still not distinctive enough to be a wrestling theme, but it sounds like a decent song. I appreciate Jacob Fatu just kind of being a guy who walks to the beat of his own drummer. But I swear, dude, he just looks like the fifth member of NWA coming out here dressed in Raider gear. Yeah, looks like he's about to come out here and tell Solo 911 is a joke. I mean, I would like a little more menace. There's a chillness. There's a vibe to this version of Jacob that looks less dangerous to me and more like gangster rap cosplay. And I just wish there was a little more danger in Fatu, like he used to have. But I'm never going to tell him that to his face, so nobody show him this video. Jacob seems like a phenomenal human being in real life, by the way. Justin's a good question. I think we'll know where everybody stands by the end of this segment. Sometimes you do that Jacob shake when you're by yourself. My wife told me that when our daughter graduated high school last week that when I was cheering her on, I inadvertently yelled, "Yeah." So sometimes wrestling gets the best of us. Jacob, I love you. The melodrama here, like, is there a Samoan Tyler Perry in the world? Because this is what I feel like we're watching right now.
Take care of family. That's all I'm trying to do, man. You see, families, they fight all the time. They fight, they argue, they forgive.
They're what in Solo too? Come on, man.
So let's move forward together, Jacob. Let's do it together as one.
I hate the what chant. I think I hate the what chant worse than I hate TKO. That would be wild, Justin. The Tongans are going to have to be somewhere.
Nobody wanted you here, Jacob, except me. That's why I brought you here. I gave you the opportunity.
What's interesting is that this promo, while it sounds kind of middling, it feels exactly like Solo watched a tape of Roman from a couple of years ago and is just trying to imitate that, which is kind of perfect because that's who Solo's character is a guy trying to do an imitation of Roman, and it just never works.
I love you, man. But listen, to be honest, I don't have anybody else.
Oh, Solo trying to pull at the heartstrings.
I don't have anybody else, man. All I got is you. You're all I got, Jacob. Man, you're all I need.
You're all I got. You're all I need. He told JC to stay back, but to be ready, just in case.
So come back. Come back to the family and Jacob. Even if you don't say those 4 words, I'll say it for you. I'll say it to you. I'll say it loud and proud to everybody, so everybody can hear it. Jacob.
Oh my gosh.
Jacob. I love you, Jacob.
Why do I feel like Boys to Men is going to have to start kicking up in the background here any minute? It's like, Solo's like, we go to the end of the road. Still, I can't let you go. Says, I love you, Jacob, and getting bullshit crowds from Grand Rapids. Jacob hasn't said a word yet. I see your comment, Modfather. We'll get to that in a second.
So you love me, huh?
So you love me, huh?
This what it comes down to, huh? You loving me, huh? The way I see things is you been using me.
Okay. Jacob says you've been using me.
You've been using me to gain power You've been using me to fight your battles. You even been using me just so you could stay tribal chief.
You used me so you could stay tribal chief.
Hey, you brought me in so I could bring you fame. You brought me in because you thought I was gonna bring you gold. Is this what this is about? Fame, gold, tribal chief, power. Hey, Solo, look at me when I'm speaking to you.
Look at me when I'm speaking to you. Two chants in the crowd. Solo looks like my kids when they get in trouble when they were children. You're the one acting different.
And maybe I'm not the problem. Maybe the problem isn't me. You know what? I figured it out. Maybe the problem is this.
Maybe the problem is this, the U.S. title.
Maybe the problem is this U.S. title.
What you getting at, Jacob? Yeah, Teflon Don. They turned Jacob babyface. The crowd turned him babyface because he was too good.
What I think it is, they're fighting for it.
Oh, okay. Challenge. If the U.S. title was the problem, then fight me for it.
For this U.S. title. And Solo, I'm only going to support you one time. If you ever think about that, you know what I'm about. And you know what's popping with me, bud. And you know, check your 5-2 and all.
Oh, Solo tried to shoot his shot and missed. Oh, and caught a headbutt. Oh, here comes JC. JC said you could get some too. Took his leg out. Well, it's on now. Ain't no more love in the house of Sokoa. He's offered it. Here comes Jimmy. You just asked, what are we doing with Jimmy? Jimmy's coming to help Jacob, dude. There we go. Bringing the family back. Super kick to JC. Super kick to Solo. Oh, eats a clothesline. Jimmy and Jacob, they're both getting a beat down. Jimmy did not make much of an impression. But is Jacob getting up? Jacob's getting up. They ain't paying. You got to pay attention to Frankenstein's monster. Excuse me. Here comes, or the werewolf. All my monsters are mixed up. Drops JC. Kick to Solo. Man, just dropping headbutts on Solo. Now a super kick to JC. Bam, hip attack in the corner to Solo. Jacob's wilding out in the ring. And now lays eyes on Jimmy. Now what are we going to see? What are we going to get? Oh. He's going up for the moonsault on Solo, but Solo bails. We don't have any physical declaration of brotherhood among Jimmy and Jacob yet, but Jimmy makes his intentions known to have Jacob Fatu's back as he was outnumbered by JC and Solo, who have now effectively severed their relationship with Jacob. I mean, Jimmy and Jacob still in the ring. Are you guys going to do anything, or are you going to cut to commercial? Come on, give us something. Jacob walks over to his title, picks it back up again. Just another tense stare down. Jacob just looking all around, trying to keep his head on a swivel. Okay, I didn't mind that segment at all. You know, we talked a lot about somebody new coming in or anything like that, but bringing Jimmy back into the mix, backing up Jacob, I mean, they're going to have a conversation because Jacob did, pretty sure, put Jimmy on the shelf less than a year ago when he debuted. So they might need to have a conversation. However, I'm for that. It gives Jimmy something to do. He's involved in a story. And, you know, we don't have to call it Bloodline anymore at this point. But it's just a good feud, you know? So what'd you guys make of that segment? What'd you think about it? I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying SmackDown tonight. It's been a solid show from top to bottom. Not a ton of weakness, really, hardly anywhere. So it's been great. Been a great show thus far. And we still got about 45 minutes left. We got I mean, Jimmy, I think Jimmy's trying to you know, offer an olive branch to Jacob. And Jacob right now probably not really sure who to trust. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So if we're saying the 2 hours is temporary on July 4th. Yeah, I mean, if they keep booking shows like this, like tonight, I don't mind if it's 2 or 3 hours because they feel like they're finally have gotten the vibe of a 3-hour show at this point because we've still got Cena and R-Truth to go. We've still, what else do we have? We've already got, we don't need Jay showing up in every segment. I think leaving this for Jimmy is just fine because Jay's got enough on his hands. Hopefully Jay is starting to learn you don't stick your nose in every single bit of business that you can because that's how he lost his title, was being too connected to everyone. So hopefully he can just leave the Jacob stuff to himself. However, we roll on. We still got Truth and Killings tonight. We haven't seen any tag team action yet from the tag division. And surely we're going to get some kind of an update on that. And what else? I feel like there was an announced match that we still haven't seen yet, but maybe I'm wrong. I think Cena and Killings is the only announced match we haven't had yet. Oh, LA Knight and JC Mateo. We still don't have that. The finish to the Sammy Orton match was brilliant. That reversal segment going right, Bronson Reed, not JC Mateo. Sorry. When they're not in front of me. Oh, and here comes Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed is in the ring. And I love, by the way, that Paul Heyman carries the briefcase like he carried Roman's titles, even when Seth isn't out there. Like, what's he going to do? Is Paul Heyman going to cash in on somebody? Like, so weird. Saw a video on social media recently of Bronson Reed showing how his gear was sewn together and made. Big shout out to the sewers and seamstresses that work for WWE. Yeah, but Brock was always with him. Like, he never came out without Brock holding the briefcase. Oh, LA Knight sneaks his way in. He is doing some guerrilla warfare. Good for them. Okay. Braun is getting more and more dog-like. I don't know how I feel about that, but yeah. Bronson's like, I kill him. They've said the second time. That's the second time in this broadcast that a wrestler has said they're going to kill somebody. Which growing up watching like WCW and stuff, where you had to really alter your language, it's been refreshingly different. Crowd firmly behind LA Knight, as you think they would be. Well, he's caught up real quick. Reversal from the fireman's carry. Nope, no sunset flip. Earthquake drop there. Nobody home. LA Knight off the ropes with a boot to the face. Yes, Sophie. Rick Steiner, Braun Breaker's father, was known for barking, but he wasn't. He did. Oh, wow. Tried to springboard and was caught on the shoulders by Bronson Reed. He's going to wiggle out again. Rush him into the corner. Rick Steiner did bark at people, but he didn't bark like he was actually going to attack like a salivating dog. It was more like a chant almost. Hard to say. Yeah, I mean, it looks like we might get a break from the tag division because it depends on how long this match is and how long the Cena Killings match is going to be. This match is not getting a ton of neither wrestler is getting a ton of traction. They're kind of missing each other. Is he going for an Asai moonsault? LA Knight, it wasn't a Asai moonsault, but it was a springboard cross body to the outside. LA Knight's trying to get people's attention tonight, which is good for him. He should. He deserves it. He's already got the crowd in his hands. So he had a great time. Good stuff. To be honest, I didn't even pay attention to what the crowd was like in the Charlotte Chelsea match early on because we were talking about King of the Ring and we were knee deep in King of the Ring history during that match. By the time we got back to the match, though, towards the end, the crowd picked up with it though. So I didn't even notice. Let's see. Also, speaking of King of the Ring, you guys, one other bit of trivia I wanted to mention. The first one, the 1993 one where Bret Hart won, that was the only King of the Ring PLE where the actual finals of the King of the Ring main evented the show. That was the only time that happened, and it never happened again. And then in 1998, Ken Shamrock won King of the Ring. And Ken Shamrock is also in our almost Hall of Famers, King of the Ring winners. Ken Shamrock beat almost the entire Nation of Domination, plus Jeff Jarrett. So Ken Shamrock first beat Kama Mustafa, who's better known as the Godfather, who's already in the Hall of Fame. He beat Mark Henry, who's in the Hall of Fame. He beat Jeff Jarrett, who's in the Hall of Fame. And then he beat The Rock in the finals, who is not yet in the Hall of Fame, but that will complete. So what we're probably looking at is Booker T, Bret Hart, Brock Lesnar, and Ken Shamrock as 4 King of the Ring winners who are maybe one just a couple of inductions away from having beaten 3 to 4 Hall of Famers to win their King of the Ring title. So those are your facts. And you'd be, yeah, and it is surprising, like some of the more famous King of the Ring winners, like Steve Austin, like Triple H. I want to say Kurt Angle as well, but I'm not sure about Kurt Angle. Some of their pathways is like, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the winners being in the Hall of Fame, Sophie. I'm talking about who they beat. Because when you weren't here, I was saying I had thought Bret Hart beat 3 Hall of Famers to win King of the Ring, but he only beaten 2 because Bam Bam Bigelow is actually not in the Hall of Fame. And so then that got us discussing, are there any other King of the Ring winners who beat 3 Hall of Famers to win King of the Ring? And so we started going through the list, and yeah, so those are some of the people who are closest to doing that. But yeah, surprisingly, Steve Austin, Triple H, and some others actually kind of far away from achieving that little spot. So. All right. LA Knight still going after it. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sophie, you asked about Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle beat JBL, who I believe he's in the Hall of Fame now. Yeah. JBL's in. Bubba Ray Dudley, who's in. Chris Jericho, who is not in yet. Crash Holly, who is not in and may not be in because of how he left us. And Rikishi, who is in. So he had 1, 2, 3. He actually had 5 matches in the King of the Ring tournament. And 3 of them are, but 2 of them are not. All right. So Braun Breaker's trying to get involved. Mouthing too much, though. Spear from Braun Breaker, and that's a DQ. So LA Knight picks up the win by DQ, but he's about to catch a beat down. Will somebody come out to help LA Knight? Where's Penta? Where's Sammy? We know he's still there. So, and another spear on LA Knight. Oh no, here comes a tsunami. And this is everything that Paul Heyman said was going to happen tonight. Oh gosh. So Regal beat Hornswoggle, Finley, and CM Punk to get into the Hall of Fame. A little underwhelming, if I may say so myself. Hornswoggle not in the Hall of Fame. Finley not in the Hall of Fame. CM Punk not in the Hall of Fame. And then you have Edge in 2001. As LA Knight has caught a major beating here tonight. Kurt Angle, Hardcore Holly, Jeff Hardy, Christian, and my apologies. Edge beat Test, Perry Saturn, Rhino, and Kurt Angle. So Test not already confirmed not in the Hall of Fame. Perry Saturn not in the Hall of Fame. So yeah, there's too much there. Yeah, Finley will get there one of these years. He's done a lot behind the scenes too in training wrestlers. But LA Knight just being left broken and laying here. Crowd kind of has the air sucked out of him now. But hopefully, hopefully this story isn't over yet. So we'll see. We'll see what comes of the consequences of this feud. I mean, hopefully LA Knight's got more to go, but they've kind of gone tete-a-tete over the past few weeks, interfering in each other's matches. And LA Knight still started off this show by calling out Seth Rollins, and no Seth Rollins here at all. Truth against Cena as the main event tonight when we return. Yeah, I did hear that Gail Kim was backstage at NXT. I'm really glad she was. I hope they use her in the women's division. They could certainly use her wisdom and use her assistance. I would be all for that. So we'll see. We'll see what comes of that, if she was just saying hi or if they were maybe testing her out to see if they could use her on the team. I'm sure Shawn Michaels would utilize her greatly in that regard. So, yeah, I mean, the thing is now is that you've got, gosh, let's see. We've got how much time left? 30 minutes till the end of the show, which means we'll have the match. Maybe we'll have some aftermath of that last match, some announcements about next week's show before we actually get to the match here at the end. Probably close out with that show in that angle. Curious if anyone will interfere. I'm curious if we'll see more of Damian Priest, because he was kind of the Jiminy Cricket on Truth's shoulder earlier in the night, trying to get him to focus. Curious if Aleister Black has anything to say about Truth interfering in his match earlier, causing him not to have a match. Sophie says there's a theory that Mercedes is doing what she's doing in AEW so she could come back to the WWE. I'm sure Mercedes' entire MO is making sure she is recognized for what she is worth. And I 100% believe that she will eventually leave AEW as the marquee women's wrestler of that company. And at that point, I could see, remember, she left when Vince was in charge. I could totally see Triple H seeing her. Now, here's the thing, is what's more important, what's going to be more important to her? Is money going to be more important to her, or fame? Because I'm not saying that WWE won't pay you money. Obviously they will. But it's, we all have this assumption or understanding that if money is the most important thing, AEW will probably pay you more. But what you can make in WWE, if you are at the highest echelon, if you're Cody, if you're Randy, I'm assuming Jey Uso at some point now, if you're John Cena. And here's the thing, with all this belt collecting that she's doing, I wouldn't be surprised if she beats Toni Storm at All In and collects the most important belt that she can hold. No disrespect to all these other companies she's hopping off to and taking their titles. But if she holds all those belts, makes more of a name for herself internationally, and then comes back, I think she will be considered, much like how Cody was when he came back. And if they treat her like that, 100% she'll come back. But I think it's just a matter of, is she going to be looked at like, no disrespect, but is she going to get looked at like she's Alexa Bliss, or is she going to get looked at like she's Jade Cargill or Naomi or Bianca? And if she is, and I think she will be, based on the way she's getting booked now and the way, she's getting pushed and talked about, I absolutely think she'll come back. Now, I'm not saying she's doing it so she can come back. I think she's just trying to solidify the global reputation of herself to be valued as she believes she should be valued. And if she can be valued that way in the biggest company in the world, she will do it. Because if your big MO is to be valued, you're going to be valued the most in the best place if the best place looks at you. Okay. Oh, so they're going to be in Saudi for Smackdown next week. Julia and Zelina Vega. So are they going to be, if they're in Saudi, is it going to be airing earlier? Oh, wow. 2 title matches. Wyatt 6 and the Street Profits. And then Julia and Zelina Vega. 2 title matches. What else we got? And then Tiffy and Nia Jax, last woman standing. SmackDown is going to be nuts next week. I got to see if that airs earlier in the day. If so, it's going to be earlier in the day, and I'll be here for that for sure, regardless. Okay, Jacob versus Solo at Night of Champions. Get in where you fit in. Jacob's going to murder Solo in Saudi Arabia, and he won't get arrested. All right, main event time. We got 25 minutes to the end of the show. A few hand slaps from Truth, but he looks all business. Okay. We haven't seen Cena all night either. 3 title matches next week on Friday. And then Saturday Night of Champions is going to be at least a couple more title matches. So you got at least 3 title matches on each show. Night of Champions has got 3 title matches so far, plus King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think that Naomi will try next week, but I think we'll probably see a lot of what we saw tonight, where she gets close, but she gets interrupted. She gets obstacled, and she's not able to cash in. Because I don't think she's going to cash in and fail. I think she's going to succeed. It's just a matter of who the champion is and when she decides to do it. All right, Cena versus Truth. Who do you guys got for tonight? I mean, man, I really want to see Truth get this because it's another non-title match. It's another non-title match. So why not? Why not give it to Truth? Why not have, even if it's interference, even if it's whatever, have Truth get one over? What a great way to end the show that would be. Grand Rapids would lose their minds, I feel like. So we'll see what comes of it. Yeah, so we'll see what we get from it all. Whew. So we are just a week away from Night of Champions and King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring. And next Friday, SmackDown is going to be absolutely taken around. So we'll see. We'll see. Oh. John Cena with Black or Randy costs R-Truth. Okay. That's your call. Good to know. Oh, man. Okay. We've got this on a long commercial break. But we should be back pretty soon. Now, by the way, if you're watching or anything, feel free to take a look on my channel, I've got some 2K25 tournaments I've done. I did one earlier today on the Intercontinental title. I had a ladder match tournament with some 94 era wrestlers, some Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, Bret Hart, British Bulldog, stuff like that, for the Intercontinental title. That's up on my channel. And I'm looking soon to do, I haven't done a women's tournament yet. So I'm going to try to do that. I was thinking of doing a women's NXT championship tournament with some of the best NXT women's champions. Well, Sasha's obviously not in the game, but Bayley, Asuka, Shayna, Julia. Well, you get the idea. So anyway, we'll maybe check in on that next week. And here comes the champion. Loud John Cena sucks sing-along chants. I think John Cena sucks has become the new Kurt Angle, you suck. Dude, this man has made so much money off of different colored t-shirts and towels and hats and wristbands and socks in every single city. It is absurd. Tag team tournament. Yeah, I think I'll probably do that. I did do a WCW tag tournament, but one I'm aching to do though is the WWF tag tournament, so I could try to get the Dudleys in there. Maybe I don't think the Hardys are in here. I'm not sure. I have to go back and look, but try to get some of the other WWF tag teams in there and do that. Okay, here comes what I'm assuming is the repetitive entrance announcement. Cena looks like a middle-aged dad who is on the board of the HOA in his neighborhood now. And he's complaining about how high someone's grass is in their front yard.
The 17-time world champion, since becoming the undisputed WWE champion.
Truth looks puzzled.
Ladies had 3 matches: the best against Randy Orton at Backlash, the Saturday night main event against this man, R-Truth, and of course the Money in the Bank tag team match where R-Truth played a major role as well. R-Truth played a major role in all 3 of those matches. Now let's not forget John Cena to make it over the fence. Yes.
Okay, a lot of gesturing. Okay, double leg takedown by Truth. Truth is looking for a ground and pound. Cena escapes. Oh, smack in the mouth.
This is the yin to the yang of R-Truth this time. A very different proposition. See, so hard he's reaching for his right fist. After that impact, he was modified and shot this on a punch. Just imagine what it will do to the cranium.
Truth selling, holding his hand. He's hitting him so hard. Man, threw him so hard he fell down. Truth really trying to sell that he's putting everything into these moves. Wow, already with an ad break. Man, they waiting until the final segment of the show. I know that's got to be driving people crazy. But I'm watching on Netflix, so the match is still on. See, Truth moving very methodically. Picking Cena up slowly. Slow punches. Cena returning punches now. Swing and a miss by Truth. Shoulder block by Truth. Shoulder block by Truth. Another one. Uh-oh. Truth is going for a you can't see me. And the crowd's on their feet for it. Okay. And then Cena just rolls out of the ring. He won't take the 5-knuckle shuffle. He bails over to the barricade and leans in on the barricade. So Truth just follows him out, but he catches an elbow. Now Cena in control. All right. Sends Truth into the post outside. Truth's still down. Yeah, this is. I'm sorry. I don't love Cena in this retirement tour. He moves so slow, and it's not like, oh, he's a heel and he's trying to ruin wrestling. Like he moves like he's tired, and the match just started. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean. So yeah, this match is like on 0.25 speed. Now, granted, it's still in a commercial break right now, so this is the time of the match where they should be catching their breath to turn it up a notch once they come back and everybody's watching again. But now Cena has hit flying shoulder tackle and is looking up. And another one. We're about 30 seconds back from the break. Truth just kind of sitting there. They're just not really doing a lot of anything. All right, now Cena. You can't wrestle. Yes, you can, Chance. And now, just like clockwork, Cena's about to hit the you can't see me in 5-knuckle shuffle right when you come back from break. His timing wasn't bad on that. Cena's at least a pro television star, I'll tell you that. Now he's putting Truth up for the attitude adjustment. He gets out of it. Vez press. Now Truth throwing some of the worst worked punches I've ever seen. Oh, man. Stinger splash. Truth, Cena bailing again, now grabbing the belt. Now trying to is he trying to bail? Yeah. He says he's going to leave. He's going to do what Paul Heyman told LA Knight to do and just leave Grand Rapids. All right, here comes Truth, chasing him down. Throwing punches. Oh, and clocks Truth. Is that enough? There's your DQ. With 13 minutes left in the show. Just clocks him with the belt. And here comes CM Punk. Well, here comes to chase Cena. Catches Punk in the ring, starting to get an early advantage. Now Cena trying to get fired up here. All right, now Punk throwing punches back. Now Punk holding the belt. Swing. Oh, kicking the balls to Punk. Down he goes. Well, Justin, you were close that it was a no contest. It was a DQ. Truth wins by DQ via belt shot. And now Cena looking to make a belt shot on Punk as well. And blast Punk with the belt. Cracked Punk with that belt. Uh-oh. Are we going to get a Slim Jim table? Slim Jim sighting. Cena's about to snap Punk into it. And Cena once again at half speed trying to bring a table into the ring. Oh, man. It's hard to have Cena at the end of a 3-hour show moving in slow motion. Like, if he was the opening segment, you could let the hype carry you through how slow he's moving. At this point, we've been here for 3 hours, and it's been an amazing show. It's been a great show, and he is dragging it down by the second. All right, going for another belt shot on Punk. And he clocks him. So I guess we're probably looking for an attitude adjustment through the table. Cena's got him up. And wow. Punk goes through the table. I feel like they're definitely trying to get us to believe that to make us think Punk might win next week in Saudi, but I still don't believe he will. Now Punk's Cena's going to cut a little promo.
As you lay there,
he's doing a pipe bomb. Cena's doing a pipe bomb.
Somebody's afraid of what I'm going to say. As you lay there,
let's see how far Cena actually gets with this. He's literally aping the pipe bomb promo.
I hope you can digest. Because before I leave here, in 6 months with that WWE Championship, I get a whole lot of stuff off my chest.
I'm begging Cena, actually do your version of a pipe bomb right now.
First things first, I don't hate you. I don't even dislike you. I like you. I like you more than anyone you ever shared a locker room with, that's for sure. I hate this idea of you. This idea that you're the best in the world. You're not. You're the greatest of all time.
These lemmings, these fans. It's ridiculous.
You're the best bullshitter in the world.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, kiddos. John Cena just dropped a curse word. That means the show is completely off the rails. Let's do some shoot this. Hey, I'm breaking the fourth wall.
Wow. I respect that they're doing the full-on mirror image version of this feud. Interesting. He's jealous.
I'm jealous that you have a lot of people who believe in the myth that you're the best in the world. Wow, they shit for you. Now when you come out, they sing to you. But they don't believe a goddamn you say. Because you change your values as much as I change my t-shirts. enough opportunists who will step on the necks of people who actually work hard if it gets you ahead. Where's another camera? Hey, Claudio Castagnoli.
Oh, whoa, whoa, wow, oh, oh, wow. He dropped Claudio, Nick, and Cardona.
He's on fire. And there's nobody back there that's going to cut my mic to save your ass because I'm your only friend. Remember who gave you the stage for your pipe bomb, pal? When you're done with it since then, huh? You just regurgitated the same 5 microphone moves of doom.
Wow. Wow.
Promo potato salad, pal.
Promo potato salad.
You're no longer the voice of the voiceless. You're a freaking millionaire. Despite yourself. You're not punk, you're a capitalist.
You're a capitalist. Okay.
And you're not against TKO, dude. You are Mr. TKO.
You're Mr. TKO. Oh boy. Rickardy, John got disqualified for using the title.
Your tweets are strong. Your actions are weak. And in Saudi Arabia, you're going to face some loud music when I finally prove to the world that each and every day, day in, day out, no days off for 25 years, I've been the greatest of all time.
This is the best promo Cena's cut since he turned heel. Since his return.
And they know that you were the best in the world for 7 minutes, 14 years ago.
For 7 minutes, 14 years ago.
And if
Referring to the pipe bomb promo.
You're still delusional enough to believe that you're the best in the world. Well, I guess it's a small world after all. You're welcome, Grand Rapids.
Woo!
Bring your A game to Night of Champions because, as you can tell, this building in Grand Rapids is an indication the mood is starting to change.
The mood is starting to change.
No. That's fine. I'm not going to do any more damage to the rest stuff. You got a big championship match ahead of me. Now, right. In the world, get a good shot against the greatest of all time. From the most common prize in sports entertainment, the WWE Championship. I know you will sing. I know you will chant.
We still got 3 minutes.
But I know you idiots are smart enough to see the truth. The champ is here. Hey, USA, you can keep the extra 2.5 minutes. I don't need a bomb. Elvis has left the motherfucking building.
Mother fudging building.
Rip off your promo to make you look even more foolish.
Wow. Woo, buddy. That was the best work Cena's done since his return. That was the best work that Cena's done since his return. The match was trash. He, in truth, was trash. It was an awful match. It was slow. His age showed. But let me tell you, Cena saved that wreckage of a match with that promo. Best promo he's cut since he's been back. And it's going to do double damage to CM Punk when he doesn't win the title in Saudi Arabia either. I'm going to tell you that right now. That is great show. All right, leave your rates real quick, everybody. I'm giving I'm giving tonight's show 9.5 out of 10. Everything hit for me. Everything was fire. Everything was it was a great crowd. A great angle advancement, great storytelling. The first half of Charlotte and Alexa, I mean, honestly, I was spending more time talking to you guys. I was okay with it, but the second half of the match was really hot. Truth and Cena wasn't good, but everything that happened at the end well eclipsed it. So let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna make a cameo at our friend A&B's chat just to let them know as well. But let me hear your thoughts and we'll read them out together. Just so
One night here on Smackdown with Grand Rapids. Next week, it's Night of Champions. King Free the Ring the finals.
Okay. Show was consistent and went quick. JR Dugan says 9.5 out of 10. Didn't see Cena doing that. Sophie, 10 out of 10. Rickerty, 8 out of 10. Okay. Great show. Real quick. All right, let's see. Mrs. Mark by Wrestling says, agreed. First bit was a tad slow. Everything else was super entertaining. Fire. Also 9 out of 10. Okay. Justin Allen Crane, 10 out of 10. Just to yeet. Love it. You guys have been a great family audience tonight. It has been so much fun chatting along and just enjoying the show together. So much fun. I've got a lot to think about with that promo. It was just that was a lot. So some of Cena's best work. We've got and they didn't even touch the tag division tonight at all, which is pretty wild. Over 3 hours. They're still super contained through everything. After Monday, we'll have the King of the Ring finals set. At Night of Champions, you're gonna have Punk and Cena. You're gonna have Solo and Jacob. You're gonna have AJ and Dom. And then even on SmackDown next week, they're gonna have the Last Woman Standing match, the U.S. title match, and another big match too that I now can't remember, but nevertheless, will be good stuff. So yes, Justin, wrestling is loved and wrestling is hated, but wrestling also is forever. Great show, guys. Great time. And I will definitely see you guys on Tuesday for NXT. If I see you any sooner, just stay subscribed to the channel, stay notified. And if I pop up even sooner, you will get that notification and come in and say hi. And let's talk some more wrestling because that's what we do here. We share our thoughts about wrestling. We remember what we love. We enjoy all of this together, and it will always be a space for that. Have a wonderful wonderful weekend. Now, then, forever marked. Thank you so much, Rickety. Love that. Going to have to steal that with your permission, of course. And have a wonderful evening, guys. I'm going to go try to grab some dinner, spend some time with my wonderful family, and I will catch you guys in the near future. Until then, watch out for Cena. He's just be smacking people with belts for no reason. All right. Love you guys. Take care. Have a great night. See you soon.